The rain is falling. The fans are soaked. But here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. It's the Battle of the Beltway. Baltimore and Washington are underway. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That's a start they can live with. 15 yards on their first play from scrimmage. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. It's Eckler again. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That was a good run. Probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Our first carry here for Kaneng Nwangu. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. You look at this Baltimore defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
To throw is Daniels. There's a short one pulled in by Simmett. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 41. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
You are X. You are X. You.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
Down the right sideline. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Now Daniels. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down. You look at this Baltimore defense. Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
Eckler now between the tackles. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Working out of the gun, Daniels. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10. Here's Daniels. That's into the hands of Eckler. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
First catch of the game there for Samuel, and it results in a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. On first down, they'll run with the Wandu. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Commanders are an extra point away from taking the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Seibert now to kick this thing away. And Hill will opt for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Hey, Alpha, sit on. Hey, hey. Sit on.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
This is taken at about the 14. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Daniels looking to throw. Pass incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Throwing now is Daniels. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
They have been struggling to put points on the board so far, and while you don't want to lump it all on the rookie quarterback, he's definitely the root cause. And all rookies, they have those learning experiences in their first year. What they're hoping for is that he can learn on the fly, work through his struggles against his defense, and at the same time, still find a way to put them in a position to win.
You change it. Hey.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, report.
Throwing is Jackson. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
To the air goes Daniels. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Nnamdi Madubuike able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And Madubuike was a madman for the Ravens a season ago. He more than doubled his sack output from the previous year and was selected to the Pro Bowl for the first time in his career.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This one incomplete. Almost picked up by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down. Here's Jake Bailey now. Deontay Hardy deep for Baltimore. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Now a 2nd and 10. Hopkinson in motion left. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
A 1st down carry for Henry. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
3rd and 4.
Alpha, sit on. Hey. Sit on.
Here's Jackson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And now this ball picked up in the end zone. Remember, this is a live ball. And bulldozing his way through. And he will be out of bounds. So a clever idea on the run back, but the field goal unit able to stop him before he could really get going. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. This is a counter play. Eckler, and he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
This is 2nd and 8. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This is swung out to Eckler. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Now 3rd down and 7. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
Jackson. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Got a man. It's the rookie out of the 3rd round. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Back to throw now on 1st down. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Seibert's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the 2nd half will commence from the 30-yard line. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used the slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
In motion left is Hopkins. On the counter, it's Henry. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Here comes third down and 7. Here's Jackson to throw. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up fourth. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 15. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. On the give, this is Eckler. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 96 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Nice run by Eckler, and he continues to be a versatile weapon at this stage of his career, producing over 1,000 all-purpose yards for the 3rd consecutive year last season.
Running on first down, Eckler. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Rookie to rookie on the hookup there, and it's a 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
A handoff, it's Eckler. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Daniels. He'll get this to Eckler. So the completion gets him just a yard. And 3rd and 8 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw is Daniels. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. And they convert on third with a gain of 22.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 17-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here is Eckler. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Now Daniels. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
He's had success running the football. This is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So the scoring dried up here in the 3rd. Nothing that quarter for either side. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here comes an important one now for Austin Seibert. This will get the lead up to 7. Seibert able to knock this one through. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Flowers. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. A fourth down, they felt compelled to go for it, and he throws the INT.
Yeah, he knows that you can't take a sack there, so he had to try and force one in. Now, this might not be a throw he makes if we're in the second quarter, but he had to take the chance there, and this one wound up being intercepted.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Here now, 2nd and 4. The slot man in motion right. And he'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. He's got room to roam. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to...
He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Deebo Samuel, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead now up to 14.
Commanders 20, Ravens 6. Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And Hill will opt for the touchback.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Jackson escaping the pressure right. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
You. Hey. Sit up.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Hey, middle. No, we changed it.
Jackson from the shotgun. Under pressure, they got him again. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Let's go.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. They're going to look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Now he's loose at the 40. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Let's go now. Go.
Now Eckler. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Austin Eckler with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Commanders have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Henry out of the pistol. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Play action. Now Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 27 yards there, a 1st down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Now it's Jackson. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Jackson now. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Jackson. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Down to the 10, and he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. But just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, and they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
From his end zone, here comes Justice Hill. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And his throw is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing is Jackson. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go play action now. Jackson, nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Dorrance Armstrong in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They go play action with Jackson. Going deep for Hopkins. And oh, it'll be intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.